Okay, we are recording. Let's see here. Okay, so tonight we're gonna go over a lot of stuff. We're gonna go over, what happens once you've made those initial connections with people and you're kind of transitioning into your invite. So whether you're inviting them to try Zaya the product, like the leggings and our tops and stuff, bras, or if it's going to be to host, or whether it's going to be to join the business opportunity. So when you're talking to people, well, I should say, before you talk to people, I want you to think about Zaya and how it solves problems for people. So today I posted in the group, thank you, Nicole, for chiming in. And I think sometimes when we're going about our Zaya, we just kind of think of like, oh, these leggings are cute and they're fun and they fit really well and everybody should wear them. But people aren't going to want to get on board with them, for one, if they don't trust you, and for two, if they don't see the value in them. So like, what problem do they have that the product, hosting, or the business opportunity solves for them? And then you can kind of figure that out when you're having these conversations with people. So, last week we talked all about connecting, reaching out, making their day. We talked about forming, talking about their family, occupation, recreation, motivation, getting to know them. And as you're talking to them, your goal, you don't want to word vomit Zaya all over them, but you should be kind of paying attention to what are some of their pain points. What are things that they're struggling with right now in their life? What are ways that you can solve their problems with Zaya? So what, say you guys are talking about a workout, and I mean, it's easy to be like, yeah, I go to the gym every day, and, make a comment about, oh, some girl like got a knee, like a hole in the knee of her leggings. And I felt so bad for her. Like that literally happened to me like a few weeks ago. I was at volleyball, and actually one of my Zaya customers, it was heartbreaking. She dove and she got a hole in the knee of her leggings. And I was like, no. So, I mean, like you can talk about things like that and then be like, oh yeah, well, she totally needed some new leggings. So I was really happy I could hook her up, I mean, like, feathering things in. And if she's talking about how she needs some new activewear, I mean, she probably sees your page. She sees what you're posting about. She knows that you have activewear and that you sell it. So it's easy to be like, oh, well, you should try these leggings. Think about those things when you're talking to people. They're going to be, when you're talking to them, they might be talking about how, oh yeah, well, I really think all of your clothes are super cute, but I just can't afford that right now. Boom. Hosting will take over that problem for them. It'll solve their problem. They can get clothes for free and half off. And if you give them dates, it is really hard for them to say no. I mean, it just is. And like I posted in Inspiration the other day, I was talking to this girl and she was seeming really interested about Zaya, but not like she didn't want to act like she was interested. So she was just kind of asking questions, and she was asking about like the price point and all this. And I was like, have you tried it? And she said, no, I've never tried it. And like, boom, right there. I'm like, well, if you want to get free and half off Zaya, I would love to, run a party for you. I love running parties. Let's get you some free and half off Zaya. Like, I have these dates open. When are you available? And then all of a sudden they're like, well, and then they might start making excuses. Like she was like, well, I have this appointment coming up. I'm like, okay, well, let's do May. I have this week. Does that work for you? And then she was like, sure, let's do it. So, I mean, you don't have to be pushy, but you need to act like you know what you're doing, you're confident in it, and then you need to be specific and give them dates. So hosting, boom. She was like, I don't know if I can afford it, or asking about price. Then I knew, okay, hosting might be an option for her. Then you might be talking to someone and they're saying, oh, like my job, I have to work so many hours and I'm so sick of working all these hours, or I'm never at home with my kids, or I hate working weekends. When you're talking to people about their occupation, if you dig enough, you're going to find things that they don't like about their job. It is really hard for someone to say, unless you're like a Zaya rep, hello, that they love every single thing about their job. I mean, really, it is. I mean, everybody has something about what they do that they don't absolutely love. And if you're talking to them about that, I promise Zaya can fill that need for them. Is it time? Do they not have enough time with their family? Boom, let's have Zaya so that you can, come home from work more, you can work from home, and you can earn that income. Are you wanting to travel more? That's a big one. If I ask people, I'm like, have you done anything fun lately? They'll be like, oh yeah, I went on a trip to wherever, and we had to save so much for that. Like, I hear that all the time. I'm like, well, have you ever thought about picking up like a side hustle to, kind of fuel your travel fund or anything like that? And that just starts a conversation. So when you're talking to people, be looking for their pain points, be looking for things that that Zaya can solve their problem. It doesn't have to be like straight out up front. Sometimes these conversations take time. And that is one thing that I really wanted to stress with you guys, is that connecting, getting to know them, and then at a point where you can actually talk to them about Zaya, it takes time. Some people, it's going to happen within a couple days. Other people, it's going to take like months. And it just does. And I think that if you think about your friends that you have, think about all of your friends, your close friends, your family. Are there people that you didn't want to talk to them about Zaya right away? Like, I know I had people in my life that I was like, okay, I don't really want to tell them that I'm doing this again, so I'm just not going to tell them. Or there were people that I was like, well, I don't want to bring up the opportunity to them because I don't want them to think that I'm just trying to, get ahead in my job and use them. So it just takes nurturing relationships. It just takes knowing who you're talking to be able to figure out, when is that right time to plant a seed, and when to invite them to join you, when to host, when to check out the clothing and things like that. So solving, yes. So how does Zaya solve their problem? And then also on top of that, I just want to say that when you're talking to people, and like I said, you want to look for ways that Zaya solves their problems. You also want to look for ways that you can just help them solve their problems, period. So if you're talking to them and the conversation has nothing to do with activewear, help them out with something. If they're having a problem, give them advice. If they're looking for recommendations of something, give them a recommendation. Don't act like you have to just talk about Zaya or that you have to just fit Zaya in, because that's how you really get to know people. That's how you connect with them. That's how you build that trust and relationship with them, is that they see, oh, she's willing to help me with my problem, or she's willing to, refer me to someone or whatever it is. And I know that she's not just out for herself. She's out to actually help me with something. So make sure you're listening and just be more interested than interesting. Ask a lot of questions, be a good friend. And I think that what it breaks down to is just being a friend. When you're talking to people, go out and look for friends and build those connections and let them know, love, and trust you. Okay. So, anyone have any questions about that? Like transitioning kind of to the invite and building relationships or anything along those lines? Okay. No? Okay.
No, I think it's good because I think a lot of direct sales just go straight to the, hey, I have this product, or hey, I have this opportunity. And just like you talked about relationship marketing, it's about the relationship first. And I think if we just focus on making friends first, naturally the other things will come. But we all get those messages in our inbox that's just like, hey, I saw your profile and you'd be perfect for XYZ, or I have this, and nobody likes that. Like,
no,
that's like the true, like, cold messaging that does not work, especially in today's like society. It might have worked like 10 years ago, but
I definitely like block people like that right away. Like, and I'm very open to like, Rachel's helped me with this, but like just very open to talking to people who are in other like network marketing companies. But when I get messages like that, I block people. So I can imagine that if I message someone that they'd probably block me too.
Yeah. What I've been doing since Rachel said that she even likes to, you've been getting so many messages about different opportunities.
So
I've just been kind of spinning it back saying like,
Mhm.
well, if you ever like, even if it's like super like salesy and stuff, I've just been saying like, oh no, like I appreciate you reaching out. Just kind of being nice about it. But if you ever are looking for a change, I love what I'm doing. And especially people, even with supplements, I'm like, I already have I'm a Beachbody person. Like nobody's going to sell me on anything else right now. Like, so Rachel, I thought that was a really good tip because ever since I read or heard, I can't remember when you said it, I've been using that and I'm like, I'm planting seeds. Even if they're totally in another business, you're planting those seeds and, you're also kind of being annoying to them and they're being annoying to you.
My favorite thing is whenever I say that to people or, when I've said it before, I notice them watch me after that. They're watching my posts, they're liking, they're commenting, and all of a sudden, like I know that what I planted is starting to grow. And there's things in there that, because like I said, everybody has a little bit of doubt with what they're doing. And if you can hit the pain point in that doubt, and if you can say like, I absolutely love what I'm doing. This is why I love it. If you ever need a change of pace, just let me know. Like, I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about it. All of a sudden they're going to be like, they're going to go through a lull in their business and they're going to be like, well, maybe I need to think about some other things, and they'll start looking at your stuff. So definitely do not be afraid to plant a seed with someone just because they're in another direct sales or MLM or whatever. Don't be, like you said, don't be icky and salesy about it, but just so you know, like, I love this and this company is amazing. So if you ever need to change pace, like, just let me know. And they're like, oh, okay. So anyway.
I think for me, like, I've noticed numerous people come up to me in real life at baseball games, things like that. And they're like, so tell me about this legging thing you're doing. Or like, what is this legging? I'm like, I post about it every single day.
I know.
Since September, but okay. So, hey, and people are watching even when you think they're not. And like, I'll do a video about something and it's like crickets. Nobody comments on my live video. Nobody likes the post or whatever. And then sure enough, every single time, like months later, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that post you did or that video that you did on this thing, that was so amazing. I'm like, really? You couldn't just like say that? So
I know.
Please.
It's
so
so
I think we just just be confident in what you're doing and they'll find you. I feel like it's like, I think I even said this today in the video that I did today. I'm like, give everybody the opportunity to get in your car and give them plenty of opportunities to get out along the way if they're not your people,
Yes, exactly. And I've had that so many times too. Where I'm like, well, you're watching me clearly. And people are so stingy. They're stingy with their likes and with their comments. They don't want the whole world to know, like, oh, I'm watching her, or I saw that she posted this, because I don't know
if you're gonna just instantly message them if you like, because I've liked somebody's post before, and then instantly I get a message like, hey, I saw that you liked my post. Do you want to go ahead and try the experience here? And I'm like, no, I just thought your picture was cool.
Yeah.
And so making sure that I treat people the way I would want to be treated if I like to post. I don't want you to message me. I'll let you know.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. I love that.
Yeah.
People are stingy, and no, I totally agree. I think people think that you're going to like bombard them or something and like harass them.
Yeah.
Unless I wrote in my post, like this post, and I'll message you. Like, I'm not going to message you.
Say me.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you want info, say me. And then they say me, and then they still, that's different.
Yes. Well, I think, and that's just another testament to other direct sales companies or people who are doing it, in kind of an icky way. So like, just knowing that people don't like that, and the fact that we already know that and we won't do that, is just a good, like, being a step ahead of people, because it's amazing. It just amazes me sometimes. I'm like, yeah, really? Anyway.
So I went to the bank today and this is all what I had on because I have not showered yet and it's like 7 o'clock at night and I have to go to work in 30 minutes for another 2 hours. So I was like, no, we're going to shower this morning. I'm going to shower after my work, So I go to the bank. The ATM was broken, so I had to go inside. I was literally just going to try to hurry up, go to the ATM, but I had to go inside. I look horrible. Walk in, and the lady's like, "Oh, I love your jacket." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks. I have an activewear shop." And she's like, "Wait, what? On Etsy?" And I didn't even mean to say it. I just said it, like, without thinking. And she's like, "Oh, like on Etsy or Amazon?" I'm like, "No. Actually, I have a card, and I happen to have one in my purse. So I'm going to make sure you always have a card on you. Here you go. Thank you, bank lady. I'll be back tomorrow to deposit some more money so I can talk to you again." But
That's awesome. That always have a card on you. Absolutely. I would 100% agree with that.
yeah. Well, I work at a gym too, so I have them in my backpack all the time. And you were talking about solving problems earlier. I work at 9 Round kickboxing gym. And so people's pants are falling down all day long. People are messing with them. People are doing all those things. I'm like, I know a gal that has a store that has pants that don't do that. And then that's it. And then they're like, what? And most of them know me well enough to know what I'm talking about. And they're like, I know, I need to try your pants. I'm like, I know you do. Just let me know when you're ready. And so I'll just randomly say that. And then other people here, you have a shop. And it's just like in conversation. And I think those relationships, they know and try. I don't hit them up every single day or anything like that. But I think those relationships, like you're talking about, grow from just being yourself around people and then throwing those things in there when you can.
Yes, the feathering in of Zaya in all areas of life. Yeah. Because I mean, if you like, this is our business. We put a significant amount of time into this, and it's going to be easy to talk about that because people are like, oh, what's new with you? You're not going to be like, oh, I just am sitting around watching TV. I mean, no, you're like, oh yeah, I've been doing a bunch of parties for my activewear business and things are going, it's just crazy right now. So it's keeping me really busy. And then they're like, oh, wait, tell me more about that. You're like, well, I'd love to, it's just, if you're living this rep lifestyle that we're living, it should be really easy, I feel like, to feather that kind of stuff in with people. Which actually reminds me, when you said, you're like, I'm going to go to the bank tomorrow and I'm going to follow up with her, because I feel like the fortune is in the follow-up. I mean, we've talked about it a million times, but you have to follow up with people. Like, I don't care if you follow up with them 15 times. Don't be icky about it. But over time, you have to follow up, because they say, is it like 7? I think they say the number's like 7 follow-ups is like the amount of times you need to follow up with someone before they will act on it. And a follow-up, I know a follow-up sounds like it can be icky, it can be annoying, but when you're going to follow up with someone, don't ask them for an answer. Like, if someone was like asking you for more information about being a rep, say you sent them your website or you sent them something, an email or a YouTube video or something like that. If you follow up with them, just say it should be short so that they can read it on their little messenger on their phone without feeling like you saw that they read it. That creates a little bit of comfort for them. But just send them a quick follow-up message. Hey, just wanted to see if you had a chance to check out the email I sent you. Like, I'm not asking her to say, hey, are you going to be a rep now? Are you going to sign up? Or are you going to buy those leggings? What, where are you at with that? Like, just follow up and just, something short, something concise that they can read on their phone. They don't have to open it up right away, because then they'll feel more comfortable. And then you just say, hey, just curious if you had a chance, or if you got the email, or if you had a chance to watch the video, or, whatever it may be, just short follow-ups. And I like to do, it kind of depends on the person, but I like to follow up, depending on the situation, either like the next day or 2 days later. If I don't hear anything, I'll wait another couple days. Then after that, I'll kind of expand out a little bit further, maybe like a week later, or, then I'll start checking in after a week or whatever it may be. Typically after like 2 or 3 check-ins, they'll respond back with like, oh, I'm so sorry. Life just got really busy. I didn't mean to, thanks for following up with me. If it's someone who's like really genuine and nice, we're going to thank you for following up with them, because life just does get busy, and we've all been there, where you have messages that get buried in your inbox, or whatever it may be. So just be really genuine and a nice person. I feel like it all just breaks down to making connections and caring about the person that you're checking in with. So follow-ups are not annoying, you guys. Like, they are an act of love, because like I said, they thank you for following up with them. So you're not doing it to be annoying. You're just doing it because you love them and you know that this opportunity or these products or hosting will be, and it will enhance their lives if they can do that. If they will take part in any of those three things, it will enhance their life. So think of a follow-up as an act of love. And I swear to you, if you change your mindset and if you really feel that way, it's going to come through in your messages. And you're not going to sound like an icky salesperson. You know what I'm saying? So, do you guys, how have you guys been doing on follow-ups? Do you follow up with people consistently?
So I actually just had someone join this month that I had been talking to since I started. She actually is the reason I saw the pants in the first place. So I signed up under somebody, but she was just wearing the pants. And so she was my best customer for the first few months. And I'm like, why don't you just do this? And then she moved and was dealing with a move across the state and all that stuff. And when she was ready, she just said, hey, I saw your picture of the latest rep kit, you know, and that's what kind of followed up with her. And so anybody that's ever expressed interest, I just say, hey, is it okay if I just send you a picture of the new updated kit whenever we get one? Because I know how often those change, and it's not like every day, but it's also often enough that it gives me an opportunity to go, hey, here's a picture of the new kit. Let me know when you're ready to get it. Like, or maybe not even like that, but just like, hey, here's the new kit we have out. Hope you're having a great day, or hope the kids are good, or whatever it was. And I think that her just seeing that, because I would never just say, are you ready to sign up yet, or anything like that, but she was like, no, I think I'm ready now, and said something. And I have I think that helped, and the people that were interested enough, because the one gal's like, well, I'm not a total no, but I just think I'm not right now. And I'm like, well, you don't know, but I think you're all just not right now. Nobody's ever really knows me.
Yep,
That
exactly.
just isn't in my vocabulary. So I don't know.
Like that. I like that idea of sending the starter kit picture to people who are interested. Because, like, I'll do it. I have a couple ladies right now who are, like, waiting on certain starter kits, I think. And so I'll send it to them. But I think back about how many people have kind of fallen through the cracks. And I'm like, I need to be sending them those starter kits every time they change. That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I need to go back and do a couple other ones with this newest one. But sometimes they're like, oh, man, I've been eyeballing those pants for a long time. I might as well just do it now, or whatever. And there was even a gal that was like, oh, if you ever have the Jade bomber jacket, I'm totally in, or whatever. And so then she ended up buying it, because that was a while ago. Like, it was one of those, I'm like, gosh, if it's just about a Jade bomber jacket, I'll buy the Jade, you have the white, and I'll swap you. You know, like, if that's all that's keeping you from doing this, let's do something, you know, like, but yeah, anyway.
I know, and then it makes you wonder, like, is that all that's keeping you from doing this? And then it's like, and then I start digging, I'm asking questions. I'm like, okay, you know, is it really about a bomber jacket, or what is keeping you from joining? Like, what fears do you have? What questions can I answer for you? Like, just because I'm answering questions for you doesn't mean that I expect you to sign up, but I want to know, like, what's holding you back? You know, and I talk about that a lot when I talk to people. I say, what's holding you back? What can I answer for you? And all of a sudden, like, the beans get spilled and they share, like, all of their doubts and fears. And I think that that's another thing, like, just really digging deep and being like, hey, like, I know it's not about a bomber jacket. Like, why don't you want to do this? Because, like you said, you offered to switch her, and if she's not going to do it, then you're like, okay.
Well, and I did find out what the reasoning was. There was that she was in a company before, and her husband was not. There's a whole lot of stuff, which she told me, and so I'm like, okay. So my plan is just give her a little bit more time. At some point, I know she will, and she'll be a great rep when she does, because she went to the top of her company that she was in before, and then decided to leave. There's a whole other story, but you know, those companies. There's companies out there that are just not, not great. But she'd be a perfect rep. It's just the timing in their life with some family things that were going on just wasn't the right time. And I think that, but me knowing that means I'm not going to be pushy and like, I'm just going to give her space, and then there will be a day that she'll join, I guarantee. It's just the waiting is so hard because you're just like, you'd be perfect, but you just have to wait till they're ready. And they know that.
Yep, exactly. And they respect you for that too, for like giving them that time and that space to figure it out and not bugging them. And yeah, and like that, seriously, that breaks down to all of what I've been saying, the last couple of weeks, is that you have to be so patient. Like this business is not going to build overnight. I mean, like you said, you have to wait for people to have the right timing. Some people like, boom, they find you and they're ready and they want to go. And there's other people that they really do have a lot going on in their life and they just need things to settle down, or, maybe they do need to build up a little bit more financial, a little bit more finances to be able to purchase a starter kit. And if you do this for a month, it's not, you're not going to get anywhere. It's just, it takes time. It just really does. And so just always be patient. Anybody, all of us. So hard. But I think, I really only had one more thing, is I wanted to talk about asking for recommendations from people. And maybe you guys have a really good way of doing this. One thing that I have found is when I follow up with my customers, and I'm asking them like, how do you like it? Whatever. And they'll say, I love my Zaya. And if they're not really, if I kind of, sometimes I'll bring up the hosting opportunity for them. It just kind of depends on my relationship with them again and their response and how in-depth they are. If they just give me like I love it, then I'm like, okay, they kind of want to keep things short and sweet. So then I'll just be like, if you know anyone who, needs some really great activewear and you think maybe, if you think maybe they'd love Zaya, can you set up a message with me and them? I would love to connect with them about it. And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. And they're like, I would definitely do that. So don't be shy to ask them to set up a message with you and any friends or family that they feel like would either be good for the opportunity, be good as a hostess, or good for the product, who they think would like the product. Because if you ask them, do you know anybody who's really active and would like, who lives in activewear? Like, can you think of anybody? I mean, I guarantee most people can think of someone who lives in activewear. And then you're like, oh yeah, well, I have a lot of friends who do that. And I'll be like, okay, well, would you mind setting me up in a conversation with them? I'd love to just chat with them if they, if you feel like they would really like it. And she's like, oh yeah. And then I've had a couple people do that for me. And then other people will be like, oh yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Well, which is fine. But just so, I planted that seed too, as far as getting recommendations. And I've noticed lately I've had a lot more of my VIP girls adding people into the VIP group. So I think it just planted that seed of them thinking, oh, I bet so-and-so would really like Zaya. I'm just going to add them in and see what they think about it, So don't be afraid to plant those seeds just with your customers now, because your customers know and love you and they love the product, and they are probably going to want to share Zaya with other people. And I've had a lot of people lately be like, they'll like message their friends, or I've had a few people post on their timeline lately. They'll be like, remember those leggings I wore last week that you guys were all asking me about? This is the group, go check it out. Or like, this is Rachel, like, talk to her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is free advertisement for my customers, So like I said, don't be afraid to ask them for recommendations, because most people just don't think about that really. They don't think about, oh, my friends might like this too. They just kind of like go about life. And then when you ask them, they're like, oh yeah, I do have friends who might like it. So don't be shy. Ask for recommendations. So that's basically it, you guys. It wasn't that fancy. What do you guys want to add?
I think the recommendations is a really good idea. I also think, and I know we've talked about this, but the giveaway for monthly for your VIP group that includes tagging you in social media posts is one of the best ways to get other people that may not know you but know the girls in your VIP group to know that. So I think even just encouraging people, even just shooting a message and saying, hey, I know you love those leggings. Like, you tag me in a post on Instagram or Facebook, like, you can get entries to the giveaway. And so that's what I plan on doing this week, just because I need to get some more parties booked and some more customers. And I'm kind of at that point in my VIP group where I need to get things going. And, you know, it's just another form of asking for a recommendation. And like you said, free advertising. Like,
Totally.
yeah.
I had something to add and I don't remember what it was, but it'll come back to me, I'm sure. So what do you guys think? What's going well? What are you struggling with? What do you want to chat about? Anything?
I just sent an email out to every customer that's ever bought from me today, and just said, so my daughter is obsessed with the Ariana Grande. Yes, I'm a bad parent, but she loves Ariana Grande. That stupid "Thank You Next" song is on my car all the time. And so is the "I Want It, I Bought It." And so I just took a picture of all my leggings today and just said, "I want it, I bought it." And then leggings, whatever, hashtag leggings are life or something. Well, when I did that this morning, I was like, I could actually take this a step further. So I emailed my customer list and I'm like, "Thank You Next" was the subject line. And it just said, "My daughter is obsessed with this song right now. I listen to it on my car all the time, which is a good thing for you because as a thank you for being my customer, your next purchase is going to be free shipping. And so all you have to do is respond to this email and say me, and I will send you a code." And I actually have had a couple people just now, like right before I got on this, I haven't responded back, but said me, and I was like, sweet. And so they'll get free shipping, and and that way I can kind of take care of them, but it also kind of generates, I need some more orders. I've been really, I was sick at the beginning of the month, and anyway, but it helped, and it was funny, and it wasn't like, buy me, but it just kind of came to me in the middle of the day, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this, see if it works. So far, it's okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you to the annoying Ariana Grande song.
Oh, I love it. That's awesome. That's a great idea though. Because especially now that we have those codes for shipping, it's like.
That was huge. I was so I don't know, but I don't know exactly how to do it. So I don't know if I should have them go ahead and make their order. And then I want to take as many steps away as possible. I want it to be like the easiest. I don't know if I should just buy like a $20 card and just say, however much your shipping is, enter that here's the gift card code, enter whatever your shipping is, and then I'll just take it off this $20 one, or like actually buy the shipping one. I don't know what their shipping's going to be. I don't want to say, message me back after you get your order together, then I'll send you a code. I don't want them to have to think. I want them to do it fast. And the other thing that I've been doing a lot of times is being like, okay, I know you want to order all these leggings. I know you are busy and you don't have a lot of time. Tell me what you want. I will put it all in a cart. I will send you the total and call you on the phone, get your credit card information, and we'll just take care of it right there over the phone. And I will place the order for them. So it's my time versus their time. Because a lot of times if I put something in my cart, I sit on it for a week or a day, and I'm like, ooh, that's too much money. Should I really spend? I have stuff in my cart right now that I'm in my Zaya cart that I'm like, no, I'm not gonna buy that. Yeah, no. And I'll go back and forth. But if I take the time away for them to think about it, or myself to think about it, and like Zaya saves my credit card information, well, that's very convenient of you. Done, sold. I want to take the time out of the thing so they don't have time to, not like in a mean way, but like, so they don't have to think about it. Like, take away that, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not quite sure how to do the gift card thing for this when I message her back.
I would probably give her the code either for the $350 or the $750. Just decide what you're going to do. If you do the $350, you could say, hey, this is the code for the lesser amount of shipping. If you order more, I will give you a separate code. And then just give her another $350 code if she messages you. That way they have that. I mean, or you could give her the $750 code and take a loss of a few dollars if they don't order enough, But that's probably what I would do, because then they have the code, they can use it. And then, I mean, I don't know if you want to put an expiration date. I always like to put expiration dates on my codes. Like, this is going to expire, meaning I'm going to give it to somebody else in a week or whatever.
Yes.
I would probably do that too, just because I found more success with that too.
I think
and
like
I usually don't
750.
even buy the code until they say they want it, because then I've sat on like gift cards for not for very long, but I just don't want to sit on a bunch of gift cards either. Like I'll just be like, oh, you want one? Okay, cool. And then I just buy it then, and that takes me 5 seconds. My phone is gonna die, and I've got hair all over me.
I was gonna say, Holly, I think the 750 one actually might be a good idea because that could take care of their taxes too. It could cover that part of it. So either you're covering that part of it too for them, or just the shipping, which they would be appreciative of, I'm sure. So it just kind of depends on how much you want to do. But
is $750 the max shipping that we have?
Yeah.
There's 10.
Well, there's
I only know that because I cashed out, or I had a hostess cash out a $600 party, and they charge her $10 in shipping.
Oh.
No.
If they spend $600, I will cover it.
Right. That's what I mean. Like,
you want to spend $600? I'll cover $20 in shipping.
That's true.
I mailed something to Hawaii today, and luckily it fit in the little priority mailbox that they have. It's like a flat rate of $8 or something here. But she said to send it UPS was $55. I was like, what?
Oh my God.
One legging, $55 to send to Hawaii. I'm like, I live in Washington. It's not even that far.
I know. Well, I'm from Alaska, and it's the same thing. Shipping is just like, that's where I know Mel from, by the way.
Fit it in the box. It's flat rate. That's how they ship to Alaska.
I know.
And Hawaii, I guess. Lesson learned. Anyway, my phone is at 10%. My phone's gonna die any second. So if I cut out, that's why.
Okay. We're probably about done, I suppose, unless you guys have anything else that you want to talk about or questions or anything like that.
I guess I'm just having trouble finding people who host, because I just tell them no one's complained about the price to me, which I'm not complaining about, but I think it just makes it harder to bring that up. And with the people that I have brought it up, I'm just getting no's. So it's like great because I'm just like I have parties and they're filling up fast, but I know that I would get so much more volume if I had parties going and then people, but like every time someone's interested, I just send it to them and they don't complain about the price. So I miss out on that opportunity to be like, hey, well, you can get some free stuff. And even a couple of my friends that I brought it up with, they're like, no, I'll just buy it. I'm like, okay.
So. Have you followed up with anybody, like anyone who's ordered and then, like I feel like I get the most parties when I follow up with my customers, and then I'm like, oh, if you love it, like, why don't you host? And you can get even more for free and half off. And then they're like, oh yeah, okay, that'd be cool. Or like, what does it mean to be what do I do as a host? And then send them a little bit of Nicole posted that summary or whatever, like what it meant, and just send that to them. I mean, that's usually where I get most of my hostesses is when I start following.
I've also approached some of my.
I have to go. I'm really sorry. My son is messaging me on my phone saying I have to go pick him up.
No, that's okay. Thanks for hopping on.
Sorry. Bye, guys. I'll watch it. See ya.
I have found with my repeat customers, I just say, hey, I know how much you love Zaya. Like, you keep loving these leggings. Like, I know you want all the colors. I know you want this new launch. And I know sometimes, it can be expensive. So have you ever, considered hosting? Or if I've already approached them about it and they have said, no, like, I don't think so. After they've bought a few more things, I'm like, if you would have been hosting, you would have gotten like all of that at like half off, and that's worked a couple times with some of my best customers. Just keep asking, because I think some people are afraid to host because they don't want to bug people. So they'd rather just buy it. The other thing, I know we talked about this, but setting up a VIP link, their own party, and saying like, hey, you can do this, or you can share it with just a few of your girlfriends. Like, we can do a little text party. I can set up a party in a page. It doesn't have to be, because I think some people are afraid to do the whole group or event thing because there are so many of them now. But if you give them those options of party in a page or a text or just a group chat with a few of their closest friends, that's worked for me too. So
how do you do it in like a text?
you just, I mean, I've not done it yet, but in theory, you just have the girl get you set up a group text herself, and then you literally have you done an Instagram party before?
No, but it's
Okay.
this, I guess the same concept, like every day you just text something different.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Natalie Swenson has a good Instagram scroll through where you can just literally just read what she's posted, and then you can gauge whether or not you do it multiple times a day or once or twice a day for a few days. And yeah, so just the same way you do an Instagram party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea. I have some people. I do like the VIP link thing. I've had a few people do that, and it's been like, it hasn't brought in a ton of new people yet, but I can tell that they're sitting on launches right now. Like, a lot of my girls are like, oh, we're waiting to see what's going to come out. And I'm like, yeah, totally fine. Like, you have 60 days to use it. So get going. But I think we're going to get some really good stuff here coming up. I'm really excited about it. When I look at
a lot,
we need some stuff. And I think that Zaya is preparing. I feel like they're preparing for like an explosion of fun things to come for spring and summer. Because like
the spring colors, like the pink.
Pink.
Oh my God. I like posted about it once in my VIP page, and I've never had so many comments and so many likes in my entire life. Like in my 2 months or 3 months, whatever it was. But like, you know, I've gotten way more feedback on that than anything I've ever posted in that group.
Yeah.
If they bring back the florals, we're all going to make a lot of money because those florals.
What about those hot pink pants? Do you know how many friends are like, if those come back, like, you better tell me right away?
I bet
feel like they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since they launched the hot pink bomber. I think they're bringing back the florals, and I think they'll bring back the hot pink light and tights too.
They're going to have to. That's
well, and with the ice boyfriend sweater, like that goes with the florals too.
Yeah.
And I'm like I know what they're doing. They do this. They launch like a few things that like, and then all of a sudden they'll come out with a legging that it all goes with, or you know what I mean? Like, they are smart about that, and it's coming.
And the other thing, I have a lot of friends who are really tall. They keep asking me if like Zaya comes out with full length leggings, and I'm like, well, like, I know they've had a couple, but they want like all the fun colors, you know, like the blue steel and the pink. And I'm like, well, like, the capris are almost pants on me. And she's like, girl, I'm like 5'9". Like, there's no way. So
they would work as capris though. I mean, they wouldn't be full length, but I think, didn't Zach say on the leadership call that they're going to be coming out with more long leggings? I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm pretty sure they're coming out with more full length leggings. He said, did you catch that one at all, Leanne?
No, and I haven't looked it up on YouTube. I need to do that because I couldn't.
Yeah, he was talking about how we're going to be having, you know, like lately we've had, you know, 2 and 3 items launch a week, and we're going to go back in the fall. We were having like 7, 8, 9 items. I mean, we were having like crazy launches, and that's what's coming, he says. And he also said that we're going to start sizing our leggings differently, and they're going to go by inseam. So like the navy, the luxe, rainbow luxes that we just got, you know, how they all have the 24-inch inseam. Like, no matter what, whether you get an extra small or an extra large, they're all going to be 24-inch inseams. And so we're going to start sizing our leggings that way, by length. So, yes, I think that that's going to be huge. And I'm pretty sure that he said we're going to be getting a lot of longs in, like the longer leggings as well. Because I think we do have a lot of tall girls who are missing that. So.
Oh, yeah. Like, my girlfriend buys Gold Sheep leggings. My girl, you can get like 3 pairs of leggings for 1 pair of Gold Sheep leggings. She's
I don't even know what Gold Sheep is.
Oh my God. Okay, so they're really cute. Like, they have lots of fun designs, but they're so unbelievably expensive. It's ridiculous.
So do the 7/8s not work very well? Because most of my tall girls have liked the 7/8 length.
So like I've mentioned it to her, but I still think she's just like really uncomfortable. Yeah, like I think she's still, because she doesn't want, like she wants them like at her ankle or below. So like she's like, even if they're a little above, I'm not gonna like them. I'm like, okay, you're being stubborn, but okay.
Totally, because I was like the 7/8s. I mean, I think I'm the nurse told me I was 5'8", and I don't believe her. I think I'm 5'7", because I've been 5'7" my whole life. But supposedly I'm 5'8", and the 7/8s are full length on me. So it would come just above her ankle. Yeah. I mean, it would be just above her ankle, so if she doesn't like that, then she probably wouldn't like it. But
so it's like right above your ankle, though.